Oh, yeah. Wednesday evening. And we're here in the studio, and I'm rapping, hanging out with Jazzy Jamie Wood, producer extraordinaire.
A pleasure to be here, Jim. Thursday morning for me.
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah, it's like the late night style. Thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it. This is going to be like a laid back casual show. The other shows we did were more like deep dives. This one, Jamie, I've done like literally no research. I just pulled old sketchbooks out of the archives, and we're just going to go through the old stuff. It'll be fun.
I'm excited. I got a sneak preview before we went live, but I think we're in for a good show.
Yes. Before we get into the old, can we get into the current, if you don't mind, buddy?
Let's do it.
Guys, today, hot on the shelves of your local comic shop. Iron Man issue 10. I got to rock this super badass cover. Incredible colors by the amazing Mike Spicer. He's tearing it up right now, coloring most of my cover work that I'm doing, and we're having a good time collaborating. And you know, what more do you want? Especially, I guess, to commemorate the death of the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. We love him. We love Black Sabbath, but this is Iron Man is on fire, walking through some sort of weird, dark, psychedelic hellscape. So this was just me doing my version, and I turned this in, and the editors at Marvel were like, "Oh, shit, okay." So, but it got a really good reaction online. So, pretty happy.
It's a beautiful piece, man.
Thank you. It's for Ozzy. We love him. Guys, if you're at San Diego Comic-Con tomorrow, this weekend, cruise by the Mondo booth. The amazing Sanford Green and I rocked this collaborative Spider-Verse print together. We drew on the same original art together, shipped it through FedEx back and forth. It was a huge pain in the ass. But this is a ridiculous, like 3 foot by 2 foot sized print that they're selling. So there's the full color one. There's also a black and white edition. If you go to their website, the Mondo site, I believe you can score it on the site as well. Don't quote me on that. But as of today, it's out there in the world for you Spider-Man fans. And yes, if you guys don't mind, brand new comics, Defective Comics presents the Arachnid Enforcer, my new 48-page superhero one-shot parody comic. Launches October 1st on Kickstarter. Having a blast. This is what I'm working on right now every single day. Please hit notify me, spread the word. I'm adding gray tones currently to these pages, as you can see right here on screen. Gray tones and a spot orange is what the look of the book is going to be. Thank you for pointing that out with your cursor, Jamie. The book is crazy. The book is awesome. Yeah. So guys, please spread the word. This is me producing super fun comics and some sketchbook material for you guys to check out too.
So excited to see more of it, man.
I just finished this page yesterday, and this is the introduction of Melody Jade, MJ.
Nice.
She's the love interest in
I love that panel on the right. That's so good.
Yeah. I love her. Writing and drawing your own comics, guys. Can't recommend it enough. Super fun. And if you get a chance, that's the first installment of the Defective Comics Presents line of parody books. This is available on my website, jimmahfood.com, guys. 48 pages of badass parody destruction. Art books, Girl Scouts, everything comes signed and doodled on. I mean, even this book's even got a quote from Rick Remender on the cover, guys. Come on. Look at that. That's like official, serious comic book, Scotty Young, Sean Gordon Murphy, Bill Sienkiewicz, Jim Rugg, Ed Piskor. I bribed all these people, Jamie, to say good things about my work. I bribed.
My goal in life one day is to have a pull quote in one of your books, Jim. I want to be the guy you quote.
Oh, we can do that. We can do that now. That's not difficult.
I'll say some crazy shit for your book, Jim.
Jim forced me. Not only did Jim force me to provide this quote, he forced me to stay up late to monitor these dumb live streams that he's doing.
I read this book at 4 a.m. after a live stream, and I think it was pretty good.
Right. Guys, we're going to start with high school. This thing is in tatters. This book is in tatters. But going through this, I realized, well, we're going to have to do a whole other show of just junior high and like high school work. But this starts in 89, where you're getting Adam Strange and some characters from Bloom County. I was obsessed with Bloom County, the comic strip. I would cut it out of the newspaper every day. Burke Breathed, one of the greatest cartoonists of all time. I'd put him up there with Bill Watterson from Calvin and Hobbes and Charles Schultz, Peanuts, of course. Jamie, do you know Bloom County?
I don't. I was going to say, can you give me some context for that?
It's oh my God. It was a super well-drawn, slightly political satire, pop culture satire with this cast of characters, but the most famous character was Opus, the penguin. You've probably seen images of Opus. And it became, kind of an 80s, mid to late 80s pop culture thing.
Was this like a strip in a newspaper?
Yeah,
or was it like an
daily strip.
Okay.
Yeah. Drawing from Mignola, Batman. Look at this. Look at this signature, you guys. The Wolverine. So this stuff, I mean, is typical like junior high art where you're just copying other people's artwork. You know what I mean? Like this is me just drawing from a Keith Giffen ambush bug drawing. But the keen observer, you guys know Keith Giffen, there's a lot of his stuff in my style currently. So Keith Giffen is one of the guys that definitely stayed in my DNA. This is so weird. I went through this phase where I would autograph things backwards. So it's my last name, Mahfood, backwards with the 89.
Was this pre-food one?
Pre-food one, exactly. Heroes in Awe. This is me doing Kevin McGuire. And dude, you gotta get the McFarlane. You gotta draw the McFarlane Wolverine. This is one of the most iconic covers, obviously, of all time in the history of comics. The McFarlane Wolverine with the Hulk in the reflection of the blades, but discovering the Todd Father, man. Watchmen. The little hint of red right there. This is 89. This is the summer of the Bat. This is the summer of Batman, the movie. So nice. I was already a Batman fanatic as a kid and discovered Dark Knight Returns when it was coming out in 86. I couldn't afford to buy it, but I got my hands on all the issues, all 4 issues of it around 87 or so. And then I read Watchmen in 89. That completely blew the top of my head off of my body. But this is the summer of the Batman where like Batman was everywhere.
A few comments on how well these colors have held up in these sketchbooks over the years.
Oh, yes. Thanks to everybody who's in the chat. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, this paper is like very soft and toothy, but it is surprising how well the colors, and this is ballpoint, and this really has not faded at all. So this is the other character from Bloom County, Jamie, Bill the Cat.
Okay.
So Opus and Bill the Cat, and Bill the Cat is a twisted, fucked up satire of Garfield and the commercialization of Garfield. So yeah, Bloom County, man. Superman taken directly from Dark Knight Returns. Def Leopard? Is this a...
Clearly
Fate.
you didn't like it. Clearly you weren't
Stains.
happy with it.
Yeah. It looks like we got the beginnings of a Dr. Fate sketch over here. You too. 89. I was a fan of their early work. I was a fan of U2 up until Rattle and Hum, and then after that, they kind of lost me. I don't know.
I've never been a U2 guy.
Dude, how timely is this? Superman, Jamie.
That's it. Have you seen the movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
I love it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I heard it's great. I'm a James Gunn fan. Let me ask you this. This is a serious question. If I ink this, send it into DC right now, you think they'd publish it as a cover?
I think so. I would publish it as a cover.
This is me. God, what was his name? Jerry Bingham illustrated Batman, Son of the Demon, the graphic novel where Batman and Talia, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, they make sweet love. And the demon, shirtless Batman, exactly, with the hair,
with a mask on.
With the mask. And the demon offspring of that union, Jamie, is Damian, who becomes Robin.
I'm rereading that Grant Morrison one right now. That's weird.
Oh, it's a good book. Batman
So
and Son.
Yeah.
Mike Grell, baby. Longbow Hunters. Oh, here's some more McFarlane. There we go. Look at that.
That's sick, but
with my signature in the scroll. You got you have to have this scroll if you're rocking art in the late 80s, early 90s. Look at that.
That's so good.
Two-Face. And we're going to end it on just an incredible group shot. All Marvel, and then there's just Batman down here.
He almost made it in.
I couldn't stop drawing Batman, Jamie.
Jim, see, before you put that sketchbook away, what was the reason for every other page changing orientation? Is there a practical reason for that? Like some pages were upside down and shit?
Oh, yeah, because I didn't want to... I wanted the ring to be out of the way.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because this is too big of a ring to deal with. That's like why I feel bad for left-handed artists. Because most people, you draw left to right. So a lot of left-handed artists can't work that way because they would constantly be smearing their work the whole time. So I told you this before the show, but this is going to be its own thing, its own live stream where I just show old comic books I used to make. But I was obsessed with the indie black and white Dark Horse comic book, Boris the Bear. Boris was like a satire book. In the first issue, he murders the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's hilarious stuff. But I made my own Boris comic book, so we'll go through this at a later date, guys. But this is worthy of its own show. Its own show.
That's a tease, Jim. That's a tease right there.
Hey. So that's
Goblin said, "I'm left-handed. Your world is hell for us."
Yeah. I feel for you, buddy. We're going to jump from that late 80s era to early 90s. So this is me getting into college. And we have a concert stub for Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul guys in 1993. $14 gets you two of the greatest hip hop acts of all time on December 9th. Rage Against the Machine, Cypress Hill, House of Pain, Funk Dubious, some ska, Special Beat, Scatolite, Selector. MU330 was a local St. Louis ska band, really great. And the Toasters. Tickets on sale at Recycled Sounds, my favorite record store in Kansas City. Shout out to Kathy. Snapper was an incredible punk rock band that was formed at the Kansas City Art Institute by my buddy Devin. And they would play on campus. So great. This is one of my first business cards. Welcome to the sketchbook. Cerebus, guys, is greeting you.
What's the picture on the left there, Jim?
That's a photocopy of, that's the OG crew. That's me, Mike Huddleston, our boy Paul, who wrote the comics that Mike and I were drawing, our buddy John, and our buddy Jason. Jason wasn't in the illustration program with Mike and I, and John, I believe, was in photo video. He was like a filmmaker. But I just thought that our whole crew had like the shaved head look, the House of Pain early 90s look, but that's like the most 90s shit ever, dude, with the flannels and the shaved heads.
That's a cool look.
This look is back by the
Dave in the chat. As
oh, West Coast Dave, what up? What up? That's what art school kids look like now. Like when I go to the campus, it's all back to like baggy clothes and stuff. Rage Against the Machine t-shirt. Shout out to 311's first record, Music. Very controversial. A lot of people think 311 is a douchebag band. That's debatable. However, in 93, they put out a record called Music. That album is a fucking banger. Some skateboarding. So I'm like 17, 18 while I'm drawing these. And at this time of becoming a freshman in college, I'm really just trying to figure out like what I want to do. I know I want to draw comics, but this drawing style, like I don't really know what I want to do or like what's going on. My inking, as you can see, is pretty tight at this point. Let me grab something real quick. Because in high school, I was like inking my buddy Lorenzo. Lorenzo Lozana is kind of a well-known indie black and white artist, self-published comics like this back in the day. If you know Tech Knights, you know it. This is 1990, published out of St. Louis, featured on Cartoonist Kayfabe. This is a really, really deep cut if you know like black and white self-published indie comics. So Lorenzo and his boy Ed Decker hired me when I was a kid, and I was inking Lorenzo stuff at this time. So pretty tight on the inking, but now that I was not around those guys anymore and I was in college, it was kind of up to me to figure out like, well, what's my work going to be like?
Because last time, Jim, what were you looking at, Jim? Like what was inspiring you at this time?
Well, this was 93. So you will see a dramatic shift happen very quickly in these sketchbooks, because in 93, we were all still looking at the image style and the cross hatching and the hyper detail. And that will quickly really start to change. Here's a letter, an envelope I sent to Mike Huddleston and my roommate Spoon at the time.
Spoon.
So even here, it's like you start to see like the graffiti influence coming in. Chris Pierce in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. You got my Iron Man cover. I'm glad, dude. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Chris, be careful, because that Iron Man cover is so evil and so metal. It might explode the basement that you're storing your comic books in. So more stuff. I feel like this early shit, I can just kind of go through this stuff pretty quickly. I ain't no blockhead, you bastard. But you know, this was like the blue line. I was doing the blue line style and penciling over that. There's Opus for you, Jamie. There's Opus.
Right. Okay.
Super iconic cartoon character.
I feel like I recognize it, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'll send you the stuff you should check out with as far as Burke Breathed and Bloom County goes. If you like Peanuts or Calvin and Hobbes, it's right up there, man. It's really, really good.
For sure, send me. I'd like to check it out. What was that before? Was that like poetry on the back there?
This is from a Fishbone song. This is me being an emo from Sunless Saturday.
I know it.
Incredible track. I'll kick your ass, kid. So I was doing these comic strips called Danny and Rod about these two skaters in a local Kansas City zine called Coffee. My buddy Jay Sonderman, who was also roommates off and on with Huddleston and I, was self-publishing this book. And these are some of my layouts. Looks like some
TFU Studios in the chat said, we received your packet of art submissions at Santa Cruz Skateboards back in 97, 98.
Holy shit. Wow. What did that submission package look like? That's awesome, man. I need to talk to you, dude, about your time at Santa Cruz. That's a whole era of I love that crossover of skate culture and skate graphic culture, street fashion with the juxtaposed lowbrow art scene, comics. You know, I love when all that stuff like fuses together.
Chris was asking, was this sketchbook made in about 1990? What year was this, Jim? Can you say again?
This is 93.
93.
So I swear, Bob, the fish was this big. Gesture stuff. Oh, there's some Calvin and Hobbes. There's some Stimpy.
Nice. Dude.
Cypress Hill. You got to get your Cypress Hill in there.
TFU Studio says it had early Girl Scouts work.
Okay. Yeah. The pre-Oni Girl Scouts. Remender is releasing his first comic book. Yes. This is a portrait of me at the time by my boy Paul Briggs. He was in my class in junior year of college. Paul got recruited out of college to go work at Disney, and then he was on the team that won an Oscar award for Big Hero 6. Wow, so he's a big time designer, producer at Disney. I believe he's still there. So we were all kind of dabbling with this caricature style. So I did Angelo from Fishbone. You can tell I've always been a big Fishbone fan my whole life. Fishbone, actually, it's crazy. Huddleston, everything still stays connected. 30 years later, Huddleston hit me up a couple weeks ago with a text and was like, hey, Fishbone has a brand new record out and it's incredible. And they do have a brand new record out and it is fantastic. I would recommend anybody listen to it. They're great. This was, we took a trip to the zoo and drew animals, you know, in our sketchbook illustration class at the zoo. And as you can tell, this zoo sucks. Some of these I would be tempted to actually like ink now in my current style.
That would be cool to see.
This is Nathan Fox. That's me drawing Nathan. Nathan, I mentioned on all my live streams, we went to school together. He went on to be one of the best illustrators in the world. He did the Weatherman comic book series at Image, Pigeons from Hell at Dark Horse Comics, Zodiac with Joe Casey at Marvel Comics, and helped develop the current illustration program that's at Kansas City Art Institute. Mr. Horse from Ren and Stimpy. Static. There's the most random shit in these books, man. It's just like Salvador Dali.
That's sick. I like that Dali piece.
More layouts for the next Danny and Rod strip. So certain things like don't ever change. I mean, you have to lay out your pages. You have to figure out what you want to do when you're making comics. It's very obvious to say that, but no matter what the style is or your knowledge of drawing, the certain fundamental things have to be there.
Big fan of Dookie Poo.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm going to send this to you, Jamie.
Please do. I'll frame that shit. I'll frame that shit. Please do.
Dude, I'm going to X-Acto this out and send it to you.
Please do, Jim. Please.
Your family's going to be like, why?
They're going to be in awe.
Why is this Piglet gone bad?
That's
Piglet gone bad. I guess Nightmare Before Christmas had just come out. That's like 93, 94 era, right?
I can't even think.
Someone will know. More guns, more skaters, more licensed characters. Ren and Stimpy, always super fun to draw. More of these weird, shaded, elongated caricature. Oh shit, dude, Everlast from House of Pain. Get out of here. We're ending the stream on this, you guys. We're done tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night. Super short stream. Everlast is here to serenade you with Jump Around. We Audi 5000, guys. I'm going to send this to Sean.
Sean would love that.
I'm going to send this to Sean Crystal, dude, as a gift. See, so I remember, when I started taking figure drawing classes were required at art school, and you're drawing traditionally, academically from live nude models. My first figure drawing instructor, when he saw my sketchbook and saw these type of drawings, like these Image comics, he just rolled his eyes and he's like, "Don't worry, kid. We're going to teach you how to draw. Like, we're going to teach you like what's really going on." What? Which I will say to his credit, I did learn a lot. I started unlearning all of this kind of 90s weird stuff that we were all kind of programmed with. More of these weird caricatures. That's a pretty dope Cerebus.
Does.
Guys, if you're in the Atlanta area, I can send this Cerebus to Sean Crystal. He can tattoo this on your arm 2 weeks from now. Ice Cube, look at that.
Nice.
I'm going to send this into Ice Cube as fan art. I'm going to send this into him tomorrow. Oh, we got Marv from Sin City. Another Opus, another Sin City. A pig. Oh, we got some phone numbers here. I don't know if those are active phone numbers, so I'll just cover those up.
We had a good question there from Connection Error. He said, Jim, do you remember what brought about any of these sketches? I've looked at an old sketchbook and I couldn't remember why I drew some stuff. But it's cool to think, like, does this bring back a lot of memories for you? Or is it so quick that you don't remember most of this stuff?
I mean, it's a good question. I think these are late night drawing after I'm done with my school assignments while I'm a freshman in college, basically. I also think because there's no cell phones and there's no internet or no Google at the time, whatever I have laying around to look at, I'm just looking at. So maybe I have an old Ren and Stimpy calendar, or, you know, it's like we were very limited with what we were pulling from as far as like reference goes or inspiration goes. So I don't really know the answer to that, but I do try and put myself in the mind frame of what was I thinking, or like what was I doing? You know, I cut and pasted this drawing of a side profile shot of a girl because I just remember liking the construction of that. Like, oh, I need to focus more on that and less on like how 90s Image Comics guys draw.
Yeah, that's beautiful, that piece.
Really,
A lot of comments here as well about how ironic the title of this stream has been terrible when this stuff is so good.
Right. Well, that's just to help the algorithm. That if you, as you all know, this is the sad part of it. The unfortunate part is if you promote with negativity on YouTube, Jamie, you can back me up on this.
Yeah, 100%.
You get more hits, which is so weird. So it was just terrible old sketchbooks. But I mean, to me, it's terrible. You guys are kind by saying positive things. But next Danny and Rod strip, guys. I know you've been waiting for it. Here's the layouts. What's going to happen next with these lovable characters? Tune in to find out. Oh shit! Road Trip Part 3. Danny and Rod.
I missed the first two parts.
We'll go back. We'll we'll give Danny and Rod. They'll have their own show, man, because they actually were around for a while. And then as a joke in 2007, 2008, I put out a 2-issue series through Image Comics called Kick Drum Comics. And there's a short story in there that I brought Danny and Rod back in that I drew in my 2007, 2008 style, which is pretty dope.
Cool. What is it, graffiti type stuff?
Something got cut off here. Malcolm X ballpoint drawing. So yeah, you can see. So also in '93, what happened was everyone started tagging. Everyone was like graffiti was super hot at the time. So I was hanging out with Kansas City legends, Gear, Scribe, Kodak, like that whole crew of guys. And so everyone had to kind of start experimenting with, graffiti kind of. Here we go. Here's a perfect example. So that's me, Mike Huddleston, and Paul, the crew, 40 ounce comic studios. And for some reason, I don't know why, I guess I was impressed with this drawing or something, but this is tacked on to this page of just this. What's so special about that? I don't know.
DC Wells asking, is Food One manifested at this point yet?
No, I was tagging Spam at this time. So there's an early Spam one. But you can see, man, I mean, this is like dork. This is kind of a dope.
That is.
Fat boys chilling in the 9-4. Skate like a fat boy.
Words to live by, Jim. Words to
I
live
don't
by
know.
right there.
Badass Colt 45 malt liquor. Little did I know, Jamie, that years later I would wind up doing an entire ad campaign for Colt 45.
That's sick.
It's all connected, guys. So I guess, I mean, shit, from the beginning of this sketchbook to just this stuff, you are starting to see shapes happening and like a push and pull, trying to figure out like exaggeration.
Egg roll asking, where did one come from in your tag name? So like spam one, food one.
Oh, in the 80s, my older cousin Mikey, all my cousins on the Lebanese side of my family, my dad's side, they were all super macho guys with like slick back hair. And should I do a drawing of them real quick? Hold on. All of them had like slick back hair, the oversized aviator shades, mustache, little mullet maybe in the back, fresh gold chains. This is a gold chain, you guys. So Mikey had the Rocky Balboa, was it a Trans Am or a Firebird from Rocky 2, where the hood of it was a T-top and the hood of it had the flaming Firebird. That's a Firebird. These are the best drawings I've done all week. And he had a personalized license plate on it that was Food One. So when I saw that as a kid, that just blew my mind. So I took the license plate and then just turned that into like my artist tag.
That's cool to know.
Beastie Boys, shout out. This was my roommate at the time. Freshman year in the dorms, if you couldn't afford to have your own solo room, you got connected with someone. So I got connected with this dude named Micah from Wichita, Kansas. Really good guy. We wound up getting along really well. And he eventually started dealing marijuana out of our dorm room. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on stuff like that, but
that's a good guy to be sharing a dorm with, man. That's
dude, I was in heaven
setup.
because I became an everyday weed smoker as soon as I got to college. As soon as I left home,
sketchbook.
Sorry, mom and dad, but as soon as I left home in St. Louis and was on my own, I was blazing the Chiva every single day. And that probably does, you're right, explains like why I don't remember some of this stuff. Akira, obviously, that's my homeboy Bruce, who I used to skate with. Oh shit! Look at what we've got here, Jamie. We got another Ice Cube from the America's Most Wanted record.
That's insane, man.
Look at that signature. 94, guys. Things are starting to get a little, I was going to say a little bit better, but I don't know. It looks like we're back at the zoo now. Life drawing classes. This is where you learn anatomy is I don't know, man. I'm a huge proponent of, you just have to draw from live models and do it all the time. That was the best thing for me about going through the school, was like just the rigorous amount of actual figure drawing we went through. I have no memory of who drew this. This is a pretty dope, psychedelic, weird piece. This was probably drawn in my sketchbook late night in the dorms when we were all partying. But this sketchbook just sort of ends right here. Let's see if there, oh shit, oh my God. Oh, there's an old girlfriend photo here. I'm not going to show it. I don't want to disrespect anyone. Super cute though. That's awesome. And then Die Yuppie Scum, the most 90s fucking bumper sticker you could ask for, Jamie. I'm also gonna send this to you, Jamie. You can have that.
Please do. When I get a car, that'll be on the back of it.
Let's get into here we go. Here's sketchbook 2. We're starting off hot with a gorgeous Nathan Fox penciled piece. I got to ink this. This is a photocopy that I just cut and pasted into this. The originals of this are 11 by 17. And this was something that Nathan did for my self-published Cosmic Toast comic. But shit, man, I mean, Nathan is drawing at this level when he's like 19. And obviously we're looking at early Vertigo comics, all of this stuff, the triangles, all this is all very Bill Sienkiewicz, David Mack, who learned it from the original Baron Story. Check out Baron Story if you guys don't know his work. One of the most incredible illustrators of all time. Influenced Dave McKean, Bill Sienkiewicz. And we're also looking at Duncan Fegredo and the comic book Enigma, which, give me 1 second. Hold on. Ah, shit, I can't find it. I literally just had Enigma out on my drawing table the other day, but my studio is totally trashed right now because I'm working on this comic, the new Arachnid Enforcer, and I have, what I'm working on pages, I have reference material and just comics strewn out all over my studio. They're on the floor, and I'm not like aping anything from anyone directly, but I'm just looking and absorbing comic books, comic book language.
So what year are we in here, John?
This is probably 94. Look at this suave pimp, dude. So at this time too, the 93, 94 era, I'm listening nonstop to music as I'm drawing. Cause again, no TV in the bedroom, no TV in the dorms, no internet. So we just have CDs that are playing on repeat, CDs and tape cassettes. And this era for me was like hip hop and funk music. I was always a fan of punk and rock and roll and ska and reggae. But when I got to college, I started hanging out with DJs, and the DJs started turning me on to the funk records that hip hop was sampling from. So, oh, that's funny. May 23rd, Beastie Boys. Isaac Hayes? He wasn't touring with them, but May 23rd, I believe, is we went and we did go see Beastie Boys. Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, shout out. And this is, you know, this kind of stuff is starting to happen where, for me, penciling and inking my own work, I'm kind of like, okay, new things are starting to happen. What's this now? Like, what's going on here? I'm drawing these like lines underneath the eye, and new things are just starting to kind of happen. And guys, here we go. This is going to sell at Sotheby's auction for $2 million one day. First ever drawing of a Girl Scout.
That's sick, dude. That's so cool to see.
First ever, 1995. I'm not sure what's going on with this very skinny arm. Oh, the other thing that happened that I didn't mention was I discovered Jamie Hewlett. So that's back in 93. That's a couple years. So I'm by 95, when I'm creating Girl Scouts, I'm already an obsessed Tank Girl Jamie Hewlett fanatic. So, you know, these lips, the black lips and that profile shot, that's all Jamie Hewlett inspired. And Jamie with the black lips pulled that from Jaime Hernandez, Love and Rockets. So when you reference artists and you're looking at inspiration, it's always good to know what your favorite artists pulled from. So if you love Jamie Hewlett, you got to look at Jaime Hernandez, you know, and if you love Jaime, you got to look at, what's the favorite? The guy who drew the Dennis the Menace comics, and Jaime's got a couple main inspirations. Superheroes suck, Jamie.
Good to know. Good to know.
Oh, here we go. That's the crew. Me, Mike Huddleston, Paul Friswold, drawn in a super tight inked the graph style.
The chat is saying Hank Ketchum, by the way.
Hank Ketchum, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I need to pay attention more to the chat. Thank you guys for everybody who's here. Andrea, what up? West Coast Dave, what up? Joey, what up? Chuck Turner, Isaac Hayes, one of the greatest blaxploitation movies and one of the greatest movie soundtracks that Isaac Hayes performed with the backing band, the Barkays. And they also made the Shaft soundtrack together. This fucking Chuck Turner soundtrack, it's a double disc. I listened to these records non-stop during this era when I was drawing and inking. And so during this era, I'm also inking Mike Huddleston. I'm doing my own stuff, but I'm also inking Mike, and we're sending out samples of our work, trying to get work. Todd Osterly, let's cover up that phone number. Some watercolor action. I do have to shout out Todd Osterly, though. This is an important name because I was super tight with his brother. Nathan was my friend in St. Louis. Todd was the older brother, and Todd had the greatest record collection when we were growing up. And again, this is how you discovered things when you were a kid, pre-internet. I'm very old now, but Todd had like all the Bad Brains records, Fugazi, The Cult, what else? Susie and the Banshees. Like he just had like the illest records. And when Todd wasn't around, we would sneak in his room and steal his cassette tapes. And I would run home because I lived like 15 minutes down the street from them. And I would dub all the cassette tapes as quickly as I could and then run them back to Nathan. And that's how you got new music. You would dub each other's cassette tapes. This curvy stuff, like this is getting into what would become, you know, like my mid 90s style. First drawing of Daphne from the Girl Scouts when it was known as the Girl Scouts of South Central.
That's so sick. That's so good.
That's so Tank Girl, dude. Look at that. That's
is sick.
Gee, I wonder if this young artist likes Tank Girl, likes Jamie Hewlett. More pimp styles. Practicing feathering, I guess. Yeah, because some of this stuff, like I'm actually inking this with a brush. This is Black Thought from the Roots. So there's some tool experimentation happening here. Some marker stuff. I generally don't recommend marker unless you're like a Copic expert like Eric Canetti, because I think sometimes marker just cheapens the work. It just adds a level of like cheapness to the artwork. Like if you're going to do that, just break out watercolors and just use watercolor. This is some of the panels I would wind up using on the first Girl Scouts comic I did. So figuring out like okay, if she's shooting guys, she's firing guns, can this body be in the foreground? This is the shape of a body. And then we're seeing the bullet hole, you know, we're seeing the bullet go through the character. So basically trying to understand foreground, middle ground.
We had a good question there from Egro saying, did you ever share your inspiration with your teachers? Like, did you ever show them Jamie Hewlett, etc.?
Oh, I didn't show them Hewlett, but one of the ways we converted some of our illustration teachers onto comic books is we brought in Bill Sienkiewicz and Dave McKean and Kent Williams. And then case closed. You know, they're converted to comics can be legitimate. So as soon as we showed them Arkham Asylum, Kent Williams, what was the vampire book he did? Blood. Shit. Someone in the chat will know. And Meltdown, Kent Williams, John J. Muth, and then Bill Sienkiewicz, Electra Assassin. Come on. You know, you bring those into class and you're going to shut up any illustration teacher that's been talking shit about the medium of comics, which us as young dickhead punk kids, we were like, that's right, yo. Like, that's right, man. Bob Marley. Oh, look at this monster spliff. Jamie, that's you every night after you're done live streaming.
Me right now, Jim. That's me right now.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of this obviously too is getting into just drawing straight in pen, which became my go-to and still is to this day, which is just a much more direct approach and kind of forces you to just see things in a more direct way. Just get it down. If it doesn't work, just turn the page and move on to the next page, you know? But yeah, this is like definitely me straight in pen, probably really high. Like I just know the shape language and stuff that starts to happen. It's like, oh dude, these are not that you need outside substances or whatever, but it's like ska music, guys. Let me defend myself by saying this is like the second wave of ska. Like all you kids, you're like, oh yeah, I don't even know the bands to reference. Oh shit, I don't know. Jimmy Eat World or Real Big Fish or something. It's like, no, dude, we're in the ska core era of like when the Bosstones first hit and Toasters and The Urge, killer band from St. Louis that mixed ska with funk and metal. Oh my God. If you went to an Urge show back in St. Louis or Kansas City in the day, can you just give me a shout out? Some more direct to pen sketches. Super loose. It's funny because I put such effort in filling pages now in my sketchbooks that some of these pages are just so sparse. This is layouts and designs for me figuring out the very first Girl Scouts self-published book. I showed these off in the Girl Scouts 30th anniversary stream that you guys can check out on this channel. The book was originally just going to be called Gwen, like starring the Girl Scout Gwen. Flavor Pack Comics Presents Gwen. So that was like a cover design. That's the back cover with the Flavor Pack logo and the 40 ounce. So you can see Flavor Pack logo, 40 ounce comics. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Like just getting a list going of what's going to go in my first self-published 40 ounce comics joint. 95, man. Everybody was rocking that wallet chain and the super baggy. Yeah, Egon Schiele. Yeah, Flintworks. Yeah. We're all looking at the fine artist Egon Schiele for sure. His books were being passed around the illustration studio. Fark off. That's a British expression. That's directly from Tank Girl. People in America don't say fark off.
I can say I've never said "fark off" either, to be fair.
There you go. Look at this serious cross hatching happening here.
Kathy Jordan Saff is asking, was Aeon Flux a little influence for Gwen?
Oh, huge. Yes. Huge influence. Yeah, that's the other thing is Peter Chung was inspired by Egon Schiele as well. Peter did Aeon Flux. So you see just like the levels of inspiration that happen. Eli Schwab.
Eli Schwab in the chat. Oh, good timing, Jim. Me and you, we're on a level.
Oh, yeah. This is interesting. We were given an assignment to illustrate something for like Rolling Stone, like if we had to do a Rolling Stone piece, and I chose HR from Bad Brains. So that's a layout HR with cops behind him. He's like being handcuffed. And then we have a couple more pieces with, I guess, him in a straitjacket, smoking a spliff from a side angle. More of a portrait. Eye Against Eye is a kick-ass Bad Brains song. So I guess that's like tattooed on his forehead, and kind of a another jail thing. But you know, this is something, it's an obvious tool, but this is something we learned in illustration classes. When you do your layouts for a piece or a cover, you do them super small so that if it reads at super small, it's going to read as a bigger piece. So that actually works pretty well with the bars and then the figure. Like that's actually that still holds up. That's actually sort of a solid layout. Kathy in the chat, same Kathy from Recycled Sounds. Can you please let me know? I should know your last name. I apologize. And I guess that's the closer to the that's the like pencils of the finished piece with lyrics behind him. Yes, Kathy. I apologize for not paying attention to the last name. So Kathy Jordan is in the chat. Kathy owned probably my favorite record store of all time, Recycled Sounds here in Kansas City. And she was one of the first supporters of me. Like she carried Girl Scouts and Cosmic Toast. So we would all go into Recycled Sounds and buy music from her and her great staff. And then when we all started making our own publications, we would take them in. Kathy would give us shelf space on consignment. And this was my first time really hustling my own work, my own self-published stuff. And I was very excited because my books on the shelf there started selling out. So I'd come in and her and her staff would be like, dude, you got to bring in more books. We're selling this stuff. So
that's so cool.
Kathy, I would like to publicly thank you for being so cool to me when I was a 20-year-old young man. Recycled Sounds. There's a one of the sketchbooks I have has a Recycled Sounds sticker on it. I'll have to find it. But yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. More Girl Scouts. goodness. Kathy, can you tell me the years of Recycled Sounds when you guys were operating? Oh, that's dope with the flavor pack T-shirt. That's kind of cool. Oh, this character would go on to appear in Girl Scouts as a supporting cast member. This is Otis. Frat boy.
Kathy says, dude, I didn't own the store. Sorry.
Oh, all good. All good. Oh, inks over Mike Huddleston. 94. That's crazy. This is a photocopy that I just glued into the book. But yeah, Mike and I were a penciler inker team, and Mike's level of skill as a young man was pretty extraordinary. Like we were sending in samples of this level of work and not really getting anything. Super weird Wolverine. Sketch by Brent. That's one of my illustration teachers at the time. This was me also figuring out a layout of like Gwen from the Girl Scouts on a pile of bodies.
A lot of love for your nose lines in the chat, Jim. People saying it inspired them. Eli Schwab and Simon Mallet St. Pierre.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's taken from Chris Bichello and Duncan Fagredo. That school of like, again, the early 90s kind of Vertigo. It's a cool look. This was, oh my God. This is so crazy. This is an invitation to my buddy Steve's 70s party. He would throw a crazy 70s party every year. So this is the second annual November 11th, 1995. Puff loves to party. HR Puff and stuff, guys. Look at him. If you know Sid and Marty Krofft, that's some crazy psychedelic shit right there.
It shows that page on the right. Don't go by that so quickly. Let me see that.
This one?
Yeah, that's cool.
There's some serious anatomy problems happening here. I don't know. Like, there's no butt, or that's one butt cheek.
Very experimental from a young Jim Mahfood.
Yeah,
one butt cheek.
That's okay. There's a better version of it in ink. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That I cut and pasted this into the actual Girl Scouts comic on the inside back cover. I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that that drawing. Superman again, Jamie. Your favorite?
My favorite.
Yeah. Or not. Wait, let me do. Can I update my own work? Yes, I can. There we go.
That's akin to time traveling right there. Inking your past self.
Inking something from 30 years ago. Some more layouts. Oh, we got an Eddie Hazel from Funkadelic. Killer guitar player. This was, I guess I was really happy with this drawing. I cut and pasted it into the book. That's interesting. Those are some super tight glasses, though. Look at those Cazelles. Look at the inking on that. For one of the first drawings of Rita from the Girl Scouts. This is when the Girl Scouts were still just dressing like the actual Girl Scouts of America, like with the vest and everything. And then that's what got me in trouble with the Girl Scouts. Yeah, look, I mean, they had like the sash with the badges and everything. 30 years ago. It's hard to believe. There's a better butt drawing.
Evolved to 2 butt cheeks right there.
Yeah, there we go.
Good question from Chris. He says, Jim, I don't think I've ever asked, but do you play any instruments?
Oh yeah, I used to play trumpet in high school. I was in band for a year, and then I played bass guitar very poorly in a band in high school called Shaven Yak. And we did 3 performances total. One of the performances was a battle of the bands, and we caused a riot at the battle of the bands. We were performing on the field, like where you do track and field at the school, and all of our friends jumped over the railing in the bleachers and went onto the field and started moshing. It was awesome and
That's
hilarious.
amazing.
Shaven Yak. So yeah, well, that's a whole other, we'll do a whole other show about that. I was going to get into some of that, but that's a whole other. These are obviously layouts for some assignment. Oh, I think this was supposed to be like a artist portrait, self-portrait. So I think that's me with like ink and paper and my art table light coming out of my head. Again, those triangles. More school assignment stuff. What is this with like the clown guy lighting himself on fire? Is this a reference to Mr. Bungle? What? I don't know, guys. Girl Scouts. That's kind of cool. You know, like this is where you figure this stuff out. Like, how do you do foreshortening? How do you make a pose like that still works today? Dude rocking a Scatolites shirt. That's kind of nice. That's got that loose, scratchy kind of Duncan Fegredo Enigma look to it. A little cut and paste of the Girl Scouts by Girl Scouts, you guys, while it was still spelled the original way.
Very timely question here from Saboteur asking, how many copies of Girl Scouts #1 were printed in the first run?
Oh man, of this one, I think probably 300 total. I did a run of like 100 of them. I have like probably like 20 of these. So there's 2 issues of this, and then yeah, I can pull stuff aside for you, man. I did 2 issues of Girl Scouts, and then it turned into Cosmic Toast because I wanted to avoid further trouble with the Girl Scouts. But super small print runs, mostly because I was just so broke at the time. Like, even though I was making money off the books, I mean, the books were only $1. So it probably cost me 50 cents or less to print each one, but then your profit is $1 or what, 50 cents basically. Gwen with the rocking the double swords. Look at that. Chain wallet, guys. You had to rock the chain wallet. Tonka. That's a pretty cool portrait of Otis. So yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I can see that what is this? with the Jesus egg. What the fuck is that?
Clearly Easter. Clearly we're not Easter.
I was skimming through these last night, and I did skim past this page, and I was like, I have no idea what this is. This is a stoned idea at the time. I don't know. So what do we got here for the concerts? Fishbone at the Lone Star, March 19th, 1995, you guys. $10 gets you in to see one of the best ska funk metal fusion bands of all time. You got your Sex Pistols sticker, you got your Flavor Pack, which was and still is a glorious Kansas City based organization. My buddy Jeremy McConnell, shout out to him. Flavor Pack was a magazine, and also they promoted their own hip hop and DJ events, art shows, that kind of thing. Boogie Shoes out of Chicago, incredible funk band. What time we got here? Let's move on. We can do another. We're going to do, 3. I mean, Jamie, we're getting serious. We got Marvel Puffy stickers.
Some love winning in this one.
Let me take a sip of my beverage, and I'm just going to let you guys enjoy these Marvel Puffy stickers. Oh my God. With a half Coolio face. I don't know what Coolio's doing here. Flavor Pack again, obviously always got to represent the crew. Money Mark's keyboard repair, incredible record. Ironically, I would meet Mark years later and become friends with him. Super, super good dude. We rocked a couple shows together. That's my buddy Rick doing his art for a Flavor Pack sticker. Super dope, little cartoony graffiti characters. Oh, I see. Okay, so one half of Coolio is on the back. The other's on the front. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm going to cover up my old address just in case. I don't think it matters, but whatever. We got Otis and Leonard from Girl Scouts. Yet another sketchbook. Otis is rocking the Parliament t-shirt. Getting some more Girl Scout stuff. Everybody in position. I'm figuring out panel arrangements here. Otis and Leonard. More of those eggs. Dude, what the fuck's up with these eggs, Jamie? I don't know.
I think you need to bring the eggs back, to be honest. I think we need more eggs.
Maybe. We got a penciled Gwen Girl Scout piece with the new spelling, the Riot Girl spelling, the proper GRRL. And of course, guys, don't even worry. We got the wallet chain. Oh, shit. Is this, we got some layouts. This is Girl Scouts layouts. Give me a second. Oh, this is from the Girl Scouts, the second installment. I didn't pull that book, but okay, yeah, cool. So we got I mean, I wouldn't even type scripts because I didn't have a computer at the time. I would just do the layouts and just do all the dialogue. So I'm laying out and I'm writing the strip basically all in one fell swoop. I'm designing the bad guys. These are some of the bad guys that appeared. This is my buddy Steve. I vividly remember drawing this as he sat there. There's another one of him. It's weird how memory works. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember it was a winter afternoon in studio and we were all just taking turns like posing for each other. Why did we do that? Because no one had cameras. It was just like no one. We're like, hey, sit there, pretend like you're sleeping so I can draw you in that pose. You know?
Do you look through these sketchbooks often, Jim? Or is this
no?
No.
That's why I thought it would be funny to do a live stream of this. And by the way, we're only going to go through like 4 total this show, or 3 or whatever. Cause I have enough sketchbooks. We could do like 7 live streams of all this shit. I just thought it'd be fun as an exercise just to kind of go through some of the earlier ones.
Dude, it's so cool to see. Everybody in the chat's loving it as well, man.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. Went to Art Institute in 97. Oh, Jake, what up, dude? Went to an Art Institute in 97, but lost my sketchbooks from that time. So cool to see your influence and referencing period. Nostalgic times. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you. Do I do anything to preserve or archive my sketchbooks? I don't. They literally sit on a shelf, or, well, actually, most of them are in, I buy these big ass Tupperware containers from like Home Depot, and I just store all my flat files of artwork and sketchbooks. So they are sealed. I'm assuming maybe that helps with preservation. But to be honest, like looking at this sketchbook from 95, 96, I mean, the artwork itself, the pen work and the pencil work, it has not really deteriorated at all. So break yourself, fool. Oh, wow. What's going on here? We have, oh, okay. So I did a list of the 10 most important things in my life that turned out to be a comic in this publication. And that's me. So there we go. 10 most important things. So this is the actual list of me figuring that out. And then me, scripting all of this out. When's this due? And doing the layouts. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so that, bear with me, guys. I'm just discovering all this that's cool. That turns into that. And then the teachers, these are my actual teachers commenting on everything. That turns into that at the end of the strip. Them talking shit about me. Which they loved this. They loved that they wound up in the comic, and then the comic got published,
I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Carlin Santesteven says, "Oh my God, that list is a huge reason we became friends." I'm assuming that was meant to say list.
Yes. That's my homegirl, Chuck Amuck. Who, yes. Okay. Yeah. Chuck. Yeah. So I moved to Arizona in 97, and Chuck worked at the legendary chain of comic book shops out there called Atomic Comics. And I brought these books in, and they also carried my books on consignment. And Chuck read my book. And then the next time I went into the comic shop, she started chatting me up, and we started hanging out, and we became super tight friends. So Chuck, I'll see you in September at the Eddie P. Con in Pittsburgh. That's kind of a cool, like loose, sketchy approach. This is inked with a marker, and I'm surprised that the marker is that archived. I would recommend, not working in marker, you guys, if you want to preserve stuff, like especially Sharpie. I mean, most of the stuff just turns purple. It just turns into shit after a certain amount of time. Whose dog is this? Random dog portrait. Random dog about to piss on a fire hydrant. We got some more Girl Scout layouts happening here. I miss Atomic Comics so much. That and wet paint in Tempe. Yeah, that's right, DC. Wet paint. Shout out to my buddy Adam Dumper and my homegirl Jess, who used to own Wet Paint. awesome art store that also threw events and gallery shows. This was a school assignment because this is something that I normally would not draw. This is like a baseball player posing in front of Walmart. So this was some sort of editorial. This project fucking blows. That's so funny. So yeah, they assigned something with the Kansas City Royals. I obviously was not interested in this. Under glass, fuck. That's pretty funny. Okay. I have no idea what the assignment was. We got some marker stuff. This marker, these are the God, I can't remember the name of the brand. These markers are archival, man. It's surprising to see how rich that color actually still is. Oh shit, Dumper's here? What the hell? Dumper Foo, shout out, buddy. Had a killer time at your wedding, man. Good to see all you guys. This is funny because like I'm obviously liking the line that I'm getting here and the experimentation that I'm doing, and I'm cutting and pasting these into my sketchbook. You know, these are all random drawings, but my sketchbooks basically became like a journal or some sort of archive. So it's just me. I remember doing this. It's just me making mental notes of like, yeah, do more of that kind of loose line work, or do more of that hitting something with a gray watercolor. It's interesting. This guy too is cut and pasted in here for some reason. I don't know. It's like I'm learning as I go along, and there's just certain things that I want to keep archived. And also for me, Nathan Fox, Mike Huddleston, like your sketchbook at this time was like your life. So your sketchbook, you had it with you at all times in your backpack. We all were like, looked like this. We all had baggy pants, the hat, a backpack, and you would go places and you would have your pockets filled with quarters so that you could make phone calls on the payphone. You had your address book, so you knew how to get a hold of people. You had your sketchbook, all your big fat graffiti markers, all your pens, your Walkman, all your tape cassettes. And that's just how you had to live. This is getting into some brush inking here. That's interesting. Like seeing early kind of, you know, just feathering. Because I'm still mostly a pen inker and always have been. But then there was a period where I actually did learn how to ink properly with a brush. This is the Spaceman guy from this first story in Cosmic Toast. There he is, the space guy. Out of proportion. Figuring out body language, like when you create characters and then you actually have to figure out how to make them act, how to get them to appear like they're alive or animated on the paper. That's a whole other set of skills that is very, very important for comics. You know, it's like, cool, you can draw, but can you draw these characters over and over again consistently and make them act and emote? This is another class project of some sort. A devil guy with a toaster strapped to his chest.
Egg Roll was asking if you got into Paul Pope around this time.
Yeah. When did I discover Paul? Yeah, a little late, probably like 96, a little after this. But yeah, I mean, as soon as Paul's work started making the rounds, everybody flipped out over his work. And the fact that he was from the Midwest, he's from Ohio, and he just started self-publishing all the THB stuff on his own. It was kind of like, well, we're self-publishing, but this guy seems like he's on a whole other level with what he's doing. Happy ? Jamie, with the big syringe going through the head there. Maybe I was in a particular mood when I drew this, but I do like the dead pen line mixed with the jarring dry brush. I don't think that's toothbrush dipped in ink. I think that's just a beat up old ink brush that is giving that nice texture. Oh, that's funny. That guy, this would get cut and pasted into, where is it? This comic. There he is.
Sick.
This is the comic that got me in trouble on campus because it's it's disguised. It's Autobio, but it's disguised. But this character is a stand-in for me, and I'm talking about my girlfriend who just broke up with me, and she started hooking up with this other guy that I knew, and I name dropped the guy in the comic, his real name, and the real guy found out and like stepped to me. Was like,
did you step back, Jim, with our hands?
No, you just stepped to me. He's like, dude, you have a problem with me? Do you put my name in your comic? I was like, hey, I was upset at the time. I was I was going through an emo phase.
He's been immortalized, man. You should be grateful.
Oh yeah. I mean, we were cool after that. It was just, but he was just sort of like, did you not think that I was going to see that? I don't know. This is some sort of ska or punk band. I'm trying to think if this was if that was a school. Oh, I told the story already. Oh, yeah. That actually, you're right. Yeah, Chris, your memory is correct. I actually played it off and pretended like it was not. It was coincidence that it was the same name. That's funny. Cosmic Toast, you got to practice drawing those toasters. There's the space guy again. Look at this dude on the sick bass guitar. Some abstract stuff. I don't know what that stuff is. This stuff, and then what shit, do I have one handy? I don't think I have one. I started drawing everything. All this line work is the Pilot Precise Rollerballer pen, the V7 and the V5. So I started buying those in bulk, and I would just, they were in my pocket at all times. That became my go-to tool for my straight to pen drawings.
I love that Batman piece.
Savage Street Vigilante. I mean Batman. Oh, Stray Toasters. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if Cosmic Toast was a homage to Stray Toasters or to Bill. Probably. Stray Toasters is a difficult one because the artwork is just so phenomenal, but I admit I've tried reading it several times, and it's pretty dense. It's pretty crazy. The Diabolical Biz Marquee. I'm not sure why that's written there. A shout out to Biz Marquee, but A Tribe Called Quest. I guess I would just list band names that I liked, and it had nothing to do with what was on that page. That's kind of a cool.
That is a cool shot.
Figuring out shape, and this became a big thing for me too during this era that I think I got from Jamie Hewlett, was learning that the nose, like a nose, that's a nose. It has this bulbous shape right there. And then you can do, you do the Crispacello shading, maybe get a little on the top. Mouth is down there. But that was like figuring that out. I remember during this era, like I think I would almost just draw the bulbous part first. You just do that. Then you have a nose. And that's my art lesson for the night, guys. You got your food one, you got your gold chain, you got your bulbous nose.
There's value for money right there.
This is all free, by the way, Jamie. This is the show we do. It's
a good time to ask for a like on the stream, by the way, guys, when you're getting this kind of value.
Oh, yeah. Hit like and subscribe if you guys don't mind. You're supposed to say that. Look at that. Speaking of the cross-hatched nose, look at those noses. I like this dry brush going on in there too.
That's such a cool piece, man.
This is weird. This is like, I almost feel like I was trying to draw Judge Dredd, but I was
thinking that.
I didn't have, I think this is what this is. I didn't have photo reference. I didn't have reference of Judge Dredd.
This is what you thought Judge Dredd looked like.
It was just me. Yeah. Like, let me do an authoritarian, cop type military guy or something. This page is so dramatic that it got torn. I don't know what happened there.
That's a cool shot.
That's kind of a tank girlish. Oh, Daphne with like weird, the early 90s, the braids. Oh, shit. Okay, how stoned was I when I drew this one? This is...
You can see where it kicked in as well.
Exactly, yeah. Some ballpoint. There's another. Wow, I was just pulling shit. Okay, so that's the original for that. That's interesting. I think at the time, what I really liked about that was pulling off that foreshortening, pulling off that illusion of space and the camera being in front of the gun. Gwen from Girl Scouts. Spaceman. More loose, straight to ink. Marker. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. More gesture kind of stuff. Kung Fu, length of that arm. We got a watch, we got a fishbone, we got some layouts, and we got a guy giving the advice to become one with the sketchbook.
That's sick.
Angel Girl. Rocking those low riders. Look at that. This was a hot look. We called it a wife beater at the time. You can't say that anymore. The tank top with the baggy low riders, and then you could see the girl's underwear. That was a look. We got some pencils on a boombox. Any one-page filler man stuff? No, that's much, much later. One-page filler man is like 2005, 2006. We're still in the 90s here, guys, the mid 90s. This is amazing. That's a portrait of my friend Jill. Vodka tonic, anyone? She was like the funnest person to party with. And that's my boy, Tyrone. We're chilling on Jill's porch when I'm working in the sketchbook here. What is this? I can't read that. I don't know. Just chilling. That's awesome. I need to send that to Jill. That's like the greatest portrait of her. Smoking a cig and asking if anyone wants a drink. More shout outs to Bad Brains. Jill Stucker. That's right, Kathy. Drawing by Tyrone Blea. That's Tyrone drawing me with an afro wig. Oh shit, here we go. We're getting into some nitty gritty stuff now. This is senior year of college and I'm trying to figure out my promo card that I want to print up for myself as an illustrator. So there's one with a girl. There's one with me at a drawing table saying, I need work. Drawing on the ground. That's pretty fun. I'm going to cover up old phone numbers. I don't know if that matters, but give me some work so I can eat tomorrow. Self-portrait at that time, guys. I was very, very hungry, very poor. Spaceman with the toaster. Yeah, definitely Ted McKeever inspiration, Ted Goblin in this era. Definitely. He's another guy whose books were being passed around the studio. Want to go out sometime? No. Most comics suck. De La Soul, baby. Daisy Age. Oh, fucking joy. I just got the new issue of Hitman. Oh, okay. This is not the Garth Ennis Hitman comic book illustrated by the brilliant John McCree. This Hitman was a zine at the time. Was it a punk zine, a ska zine? By Hitman. It's cool. Oh, this was an ad that I did for them, actually. Yes. Okay, we traded this. We would trade zines and mini comics and stuff. We would trade ads. So I print an ad for your book in my book. You print an ad for me. And for them, I just photocopied this out of my sketchbook. Probably mailed it to them, and then they printed it in an issue.
Good question from Sam McClug there, saying you've always said you had strict parents. What did they think about your art being what it is?
Oh, strict, but yeah, I mean, they didn't they encouraged all this. Like they were cool with it, but they also I don't know, they didn't really see everything that I was doing, you know. Because I was off. I left when I was 18, so I was sort of on my own, and I think I would mail copies of like these books back to them. So I know they saw this stuff. When I started getting published and doing like the Clerks books and stuff, my mom actually would go to the comic shop and buy my books, which I think is amazing. Like, that's so cool. But I think, you know, as the years went on, I don't know, man, I just kind of like, the more violent and the more weird my shit got, I just kind of was like, I don't know if I want my family to see all the shit that I'm doing. Not that they're religious or they're squares or anything like that. It just, you know, I couldn't imagine me really showing them like Savage Street Vigilante or like some of the weird shit that I'm doing now that's just like super hyper violent and crazy shit. I don't know. Yeah, they're super encouraging, always were, always have been. And I think that they were just super excited that I got to figure out how to do all this stuff and then I actually made it. I think that was the main concern was, oh God, are you actually going to be able to make it off this crazy dream? You know, this was a school assignment. What was it? Longest speech, 30 hours. Record for fastest eating. Okay. So I remember coming up with sketches for this finished piece for class. The Land of Funk. You done fucked up that hand, didn't you, son? There's a reoccurring theme in these books of characters commenting on what's going on in the page, you know, which I think is fun. Very, very early drawing of Smoke Dog when he had a mouth. That's kind of a deep cut. Smoke Dog would go on to become one of my characters that reoccurred in a lot of the Girl Scouts comics, a lot of the 40-ounce late 90s stuff. That's kind of a dope drawing, though. I like that guy's.
I was going to say that is sick.
Like figuring out, because this is all drawn with just one pen. So by just going in there and keep working those lines and creating that deep black, creating that shadow, it really sets those eyes back and you're beginning to understand the form with the eyelids and the lips. And, you know, it just figuring this stuff out is basically what I always use my sketchbooks for. And, you know, I'm still figuring out that eating piece. This guy's like a record speed eater or something. So you can see more layouts of like, he's at a table and there's just plates flying and he's got multiple hands rocking to show the speed and the ferocity of what he's eating. So it's cool to see that stuff kind of being worked out, and the language of cartooning too, you know, like that's a trope of cartooning is if you draw multiple limbs all happening, that conveys speed and motion. 40-ounce comics, baby. Look at that. Oh, this guy winds up. Yeah, there he is. Inside front cover of Cosmic Toast. The cool thing too is we had access to a photocopy machine at school in the illustration building. And of course, someone wound up getting the code from one of the teachers. So that meant free photocopies for everybody. So we would just abuse the privileges of the in-house photocopy machine. Illustration can be pretty boring. I'm not sure. Maybe I was in class and things were moving slow. We have a spilt 40-ounce, you guys. And yes, we've got 90s hair for sure. Yeah, 2 beers, please. This dude's rocking the Black Flag shirt. Why does he have like a half shirt on though? What's going on? What's the emotion? But you know, it's like, okay, I'm trying to figure out how do you draw someone dramatically entering a room, opening the door? Like what is the pose of that? What is the motion of that? You know, oh my God, what the hell? Let me hold on. I have to censor this page. How did I get these? We have Frank Miller's LA address, Bill Sienkiewicz, Simon Bisley, Spectrum in Kansas City, which is a super dope fantasy magazine illustration annual. Where did I don't know. I don't know where, I don't know how I got access, but someone in illustration in Kansas City had access to those guys. Those guys do not live at these addresses anymore, but I'm just going to cover them anyway. That's hilarious that those are in there. But yeah, that's what it is. One of my illustration teachers was probably like, you can send those guys photocopies of your work. Shit, that's funny, man. Shout out to Chips, the 70s TV show. Ponch and John. Shout out to Ponch and John, guys. Look at that. We got a
That
random.
guy top right is Vertigo.
Which guy?
The dinosaur guy.
That dude. We got a Kermit hand puppet. Some more of that inky,
that's
scratchy ballpoint. Like, don't even worry about staying in the lines. You know, just make those Fagredo, Crispicello noses. Just. But it is figuring out shape by doing that. You know, you get that highlight in there, it makes that nose pop. Another smoke dog. Lay off, will ya? And we got a Del the Funky Homo Sapien t-shirt, guys. That's a deep cut right there. That's awesome. That's pretty dope too. Figuring out the you like how I'm just like, yeah, these old drawings of mine are dope. Look at this. This is fucking great. But no, I remember like certain drawings being like, okay, I think I'm figuring some stuff out here with form and the dimensions of the face. That nose, guys. Should I do an art book, a sketchbook of just these nose? Just call it Scratchy Nose. And it's just a compilation through the years of the characters that have that nose. Oh, shit. This is a great way. How much more do we have? Okay, this is a perfect way to end the show, actually. We're getting into some deep shit now, guys. We're getting into some... This is when stuff starts to become heavy, the heavyweight funk, I'm going to call it. You've done well, young grasshoppers. Collaborative, Jim, Nathan Fox. Look at that. Me drawing me, but look at that Nathan drawing of himself as a Pez character. That's super dope. And this is an insane collabo. This is just me and Nathan. Shit, man, what's the problem? I need my space. Jim M, 1996. You can't fake the funk. Oh, that's great. The smoke dog smoking a cigar.
Sick, man.
Or I guess a big old spliff, I guess. But what else we got here? Nathan's bizarre characters. If memory serves me correct, we were sitting on the lawn in the camp, in the middle of campus at school, drawing this one afternoon. That's pretty dope. That character with the Fox t-shirt, that's great. But you know, the expressiveness. These might be shit drawings. There's no rhyme or reason, but it's really the expressiveness. 9/17, 1996. 24 years ago? Really? It's fucking crazy. What's this crap? A girl I was dating at the time. Drawn from life. You call this art? There's also it becomes this theme of like people plugged into things. Like I still do this with my work, like the chords, like using chords as design elements. I don't know. There's something about that. Oh shit. Adventure, excitement, fame and fortune. A comic book artist craves not these things, nor will ever achieve them in this lifetime. Yes, sensei. Since when did you become left-handed? That's me talking to myself because yeah, I'm drawing left-handed in this piece. Oh shit, front cover layout for Cosmic Toast. Look at that guy.
That's cool to see, man.
That's cool. I didn't realize. I switched to the Mr. Spiteful with the Girl Scouts. But other than that, stayed pretty true. Back cover, no, the back cover became everybody in my crew doing a self-portrait of themselves. Always fresh. Girl Scouts, we got the T-square rocking. Some more bizarre stuff. Oh shit, Pepper. That's Jill's cat. Pepper just chilling. R.I.P. Pepper. Peter Tosh portrait. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Eli, Gen X was a direct riff off of Cosmic Toast. So Scott Lobdell brought Cosmic Toast to the Marvel offices in New York, showed them to a young assistant editor named Jason Liebig. Then Jason hit me up and we did Gen X Underground. But it was Jason's idea to basically make Gen X Underground Cosmic Toast. It's just starring the Gen X X-Men kids, if that makes sense. But same paper stock too on both of these books. Headphones screaming. That's drawn from life. That's my girl at the time as well, like posing in the bathrobe. I sense things are coming to an end. Yeah, this sketchbook's almost done. And this live stream is almost done. Look at the meta moment here, though. Leonard is holding the actual sketchbook, Jamie, with the flavor
That's
pack
cool.
and the money mark. Like that's kind of dope.
That is.
Otis and Leonard. There we go. Pilot Precise V7 rolling ball. That's the go-to pen. It's quite simply the best fucking pen in the world. Critiques can be painful. Have a delicious shake. Practice drawing hands day and night and night and day and day and night. Egg roll, hungry for some of that delicious Chinese food. That was a tradition, is like we would go to class and then after evening class, we would go get Chinese food, bring it back to studio, do our assignments, and then jam out in our sketchbooks and then slam a couple beers and call it a night. Little baby Smoke Dog on a skateboard. This is amazing. Sign here and you can draw comics forever. That should just be, I mean, I'm not going to print my old artwork, but that should be the cover of an art book. That's how it went down. That's hilarious. More of those chords. Last page. So here we are in our underwear. Yeah. Haven't you learned a fucking thing? That arm is not correct. Man, these characters were really hard on the drawings running throughout these sketchbooks. This is the end. You done yet? I know.
That's a cool fucking page, man.
It's a good way to end the book. And guys, I think we're going to end it there. I just wanted to do this. Yeah, we did a 2-hour stream. It flew by. The reason I'm ending it there is this the next one? Wait. 3. Oh shit, this is 5. Wait, where was 4? Oh, okay. 4 really starts getting in. 4 and 5 start getting into like Gen X underground and character designs and like crazy history stuff. So I want to make sure I have time to go over that stuff. And I got to eat dinner, and Jamie doesn't want to be up till 4 a.m. But did we get to most of the questions? Thanks, you guys, everybody who joined us. This was awesome. It's fun to occasionally look back at old stuff, but not that often. I would say only once in a while, you know.
Nah, this was great, man. This was so fun.
Oh, and also shout out Luscious Jackson, incredible band. Groove Farm used to be a store in Westport in Kansas City, and the Dirt Gallery. Shout out to Devin. This was a fantastic art gallery. But yeah, guys, memories of oh, I see. Okay, both of these had the puffy stickers on them. Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Please check out Ink Pulp Live every 2 weeks. Me and Sean Crystal rocking out with the freshest artists in the comic book industry, having a great time. If you can remember, spread the word about Arachnid Enforcer. That's my current project that I'm working on.
Trash Movie Bonanza.
Trash Movie Bonanza with Chris Pierce. The Supergirl episode is our current episode that's up. And I think that's about it. I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you, Jazzy Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jim.
My pleasure.